I have enjoyed myself. I think that the Wimbledon team, and I'd emphasise the riders in the Wimbledon team, put on a great show, and I thought their supporters were good. And I think the bandits, especially once they perhaps got their confidence and realised that they weren't up against almighty gods of the sport, didn't do too badly at all. They certainly didn't disgrace themselves. I enjoyed it anyway.
Dick, can you just give us a few words on what happened prior to the start of the meeting tonight? We really were taken by surprise up here to see Robert Grant going around on his own.
Well, the situation was that quite simply Cyril Maidment, although he denies doing so, protested to the referee about the state of the track and at one point intimated that his team would not ride. This is not the case for the team, because when I approached the team individually, not one of them said that. The referee, Mr. Miller, accepted Mr. Maidment's complaint, was not totally happy about the state of the track himself, and asked Mr. Maidment if a demonstration ride or run around by a Berwick reserve would allow them to form a better opinion. Robert Grant went out, reeled off 3.5 laps in the kind of style he later used to beat Malcolm Simmons, and everything seemed to be hunky-dory. So Mr. Miller shrugged his shoulders and said the meeting goes on. Mr. Maidment went into the huff, and the Wimbledon team went out and did a terrific professional job.
Dick, I think the two of the Berwick stars tonight, undoubtedly Robert Grant and Brian Collins. Would you, on behalf of KM Video, like to do a few words with both Brian and Robert?
Yes, I'll be delighted to. I'll even see you about the fee later. How about that? And Brian Collins and Robert Grant, you were turning the style on for the fans here tonight, and Brian especially, certainly your best meeting in the north since you joined the Bandits. What was the difference? Last week you came here and you obviously had bike problems. You didn't look a very happy little bandit, but tonight you were flying. What was the difference? Do you think it was just your experience?
Well, last week I had a lot of engine trouble and it resulted in a bad score, but tonight I had a different engine, tuned by Trevor Hedge I might add, and it really went well, and I was really pleased that I managed to get in amongst the points and scatter a few of the British League riders at the same time. But I must add I was on the rough end of a stick at one point from the referee, a bad bunching at the corner, and he put me out unjustly, I think.
Well, I think people who are watching this video will know all about that incident, Brian, and you can buy your own copy from KM Video, of course. One thing, early on you were the bandit who was really getting amongst them. I'd have to say that some of your more illustrious National League colleagues seemed just a little bit dubious about mixing it, but you were getting right in there. Is that your British League experience, do you think?
Well, I think it's just after 16 years you've learnt something, and I think, you know, it's mixing it with the big boys, it never puts you off, because you've been there once yourself, you know the story.
Very true indeed. And of course, talking of mixing it with the big boys, your big mate here was certainly in amongst them. Robert Grant, the sensation of the Bandits this year at Barrow. You haven't yet, at the time we're talking, lost a National League race here. You got right in amongst the big boys. You added Malcolm Simmons to your scalp. Granty, how do you do it?
Just get stuck into them. Shouldn't be anything. And, you know, I've come with a different attitude to all my meetings this year, and I'm just coming off the better, you know.
Well, you certainly are, Robert, there's no doubt at all. Your dad's always with you, and he was a rider himself many years ago. I actually saw him racing when I was a very little boy. Has he helped you a lot in your career, give you advice?
Well, he's helped us when I was in the juniors, you know, but now he's getting more of a hindrance than a help.
Only a son could say that about a father. Yeah, that Brian says is a bit unjust. Your dad obviously has helped you. You mentioned the Junior League, Robert. Do you feel that your grounding with the Bandits in the Junior League team that, in fact, won a Junior League, did that help you make the jump and you weren't sort of overawed when you went in among the big boys for the first time?
Oh, the Junior League's the best thing since sliced bread. I've never had as much fun in the Junior League as I have all the way through any season. You know, the Junior League's just the #1 for me.
Well, I'll tell you, Robert, you're well past the Junior League now, because I think you'll be going through the National League just about as quickly the way you've been racing. One thing, the Bandits are obviously having their off-track troubles with Barrow and talk of Berwick, but you yourself are certainly enjoying your best season. Do you aim to finish the season a heat leader, or are you just going to let it play it as it comes?
Just going to get stuck in the best way I can, just hang on.
Well, from a man who beat Malcolm Simmons, I think he finished ahead of Colin Richardson, he just about wiped up all the Wimbledon team, there's no doubt at all about that. And Brian, you're happy as a Bandit?
Oh, much happier, much happier. I've started off the season a lot better form, and I mean to carry on the form for the Bandits.
For the Bandits, of course. Well, there you are. On behalf of KM Video and a certain magazine, I'd just like to say thanks very much for letting me loose in your microphone. Where's the money?